We saw a nested list a couple of videos ago. A nested list is basically a list inside a list, but it can be a list inside a list inside a list, where you've got list inception. This will be a brief video. Let's head over to PyScripter and begin. Let's create a few lists and assign them to variables. Call our first list feature 1. And we'll pretend that this represents some feature attributes. We'll add a string for Ireland and Dublin, integer for population, and we usually have a geometry object here. Let's just create a string and call it geom to represent that. Hit enter. Now create another variable. We'll call it feature 2. We'll set this to equal a list. We'll use England, London, represent the capital, and a population of 9.65 million. Again, we'll just use a string for geom. Hit enter. Create a third feature attributes list. We'll use France, Paris, 11.2 million. Oops, forgot a 0. And our placeholder for a geometry object. Each of these are now individual lists. Let's create a list of these lists, so a list of these features. We'll call it all features, and we'll set our list to contain feature 1, feature 2, and feature 3. Enter. Now when we call our all features variable, we can see the 3 lists are within a list. These are nested lists within our list. We can access each individual list by simply calling our all features variable and using the square brackets and using our index. So we'll access the first one with 0. We can also use negative index, so supply in -2, and we can see we get our list containing England and London. Now what if we want to access individual elements of a nested list? We want to access Dublin. Dublin is in feature 1, and we can see that that list is the first list element of our outer list. Let's call our all features variable. So we know we want to access the first list in that list. We saw that here. So here we are returning a list, and we want to access the second element of that list to extract Dublin. The second element is at index 1. We hit enter and we can see Dublin was returned. We can mix negative and positive indexes. We'll call all features and we'll supply in -2. We saw here that that returned England, London, the population and the geometry. So that is the second element of our main list, our outermost list. And this time we want to access the population value. So that is at index 0, 1, 2. So we add another square brackets and put in 2 and hit enter, and we can see we are returned the population. In this video, we took a quick look at nested lists. A nested list is when there is an outermost list, and within that outermost list, there is a list element. There can be multiple list elements, and you can even have it where those nested lists have nested lists themselves. Check out the challenge below. Try and complete it without looking at the solution in the workbook, and try and understand how you can use the indexes to access each nested list and elements within those nested lists, no matter how deep you have to go into the nest. Just watch out for snakes.